Hello everyone, my name is the Rad Man, and we are here for another episode of our Farming Simulator mini-series. I can't even remember what I called it on YouTube. It's not called the mini-series though. But basically this episode is, if you can't tell, straw, or raking and baling straw specifically, since making hay / silage bales is a little more complicated. That's going to get its own episode. Plus, I have to run all this stuff back over to where I found it before I can make the straw or hay and silage video. So basically, this is all in-game equipment. You have this little tiny rake. You have a double rake, and you have a quadruple rake. The quadruple rake is by Lely. The double rake is by Master Drive, I believe, or Kuhn, actually. And then there's a little Potinger single rake. And apparently you can hire workers, but I don't think that they work. No, wait. Oh, I was just blocking them. So we'll make them go, because why not? I didn't actually know you could hire a worker for that. So I guess now we'll find out if you can hire them for baling. So there go the three the three sizes of rakes. Just as a note, every single one of these rakes can be used with the default starting tractors, even that biggest rake, as long as you, because that one takes, let's see what that one takes. The biggest rake only takes 110 horsepower, and the biggest starting tractor has around 125-ish. And now we have the smaller starting baler. Someone completed their task and someone else is blocked, and someone else is really confused. So the round baler is the least expensive of the two balers. It's around, I think it's around 80-ish thousand. The other one is 102,000. I know that. And the problem with the small baler, the small round baler, is that you have to stop every time you dump out a bale. And let's go move these, because we're going to want these out of the way. So, okay, this guy got finished, so we'll move him out of the way. And then these two guys need to stop. Okay, and then this guy needs to stop too. Okay. And yeah, the main reason that you'd rake these is just so that there's not as many windrows. But where most of these windrows were made with the biggest combine in the game, you probably won't, you'll only be able to combine 2 at most, though you will get these huge piles. So we'll send him off that way, and he should figure out to go that way. And if he doesn't, then, well, I guess he'll keep causing trouble. So let's go pull this guy out of the way, because we need to be able to get the other baler up here. Anyway, okay, there we go. So yeah, every single time you make a bale with the round baler, you have to stop and eject the bale. So we're not gonna make many. I'm just gonna get this guy to the end of the row so we can get him out of the way. There we go. And it does have a beeper that will start when I believe it's at about 80%. No, it's like 70% actually. And there is only one way in game to pick up the bales, and that is with one of these. And this little guy will hold 8 bales, and then if you press Y, it'll tip them out like that. And then you can either tip these at a selling point, or at the side of the field, or wherever on earth you want. Just beware that the stacks do kind of want to tip over sometimes, most of the time. And then you'll have to wait for it to tilt down, and you'll be able to tell that it's ready again when the arm starts going up, because and there you go. Now it always resets it to the transport position. We can see that guy did not do what I want him to do, but that should give us enough straw for testing the square baler. So the square baler is a big step above the round baler. The other thing I should have mentioned about the round baler is that it can be pulled by the default machinery. This square baler, on the other hand, cannot. The square baler requires over 250 horsepower to use it. So you have to have a tractor at least this size or bigger. So we're going to move out of the way of the rake, because he'll just finish up if we let him keep going. And they both take the same amount of... okay, don't you dare stop there. So we've royally messed this guy up. But anyway, so the square baler and round baler make bales of the exact same size. So one bale from the square baler is 4,000 straw, and one bale from the round baler is 4,000 straw. The major difference between them, of course, is that with a square baler you can keep going and you do not have to stop. Plus, I believe that the pickup mouth is wider. You can't turn quite as sharp, but the pickup mouth is wider. So when we get over there, we should be able to feed one of those huge mounds directly into the baler. Whereas with a smaller round baler, those would never feed in properly. And as you can see, it actually makes them at a pretty good rate. We've already got like 4 or 5 of them. And I'm not going to bale the entire field. I'm just getting enough to fill up both stackers, because there are actually 2 stackers for the square baler and only 1 for the round baler. And it's kind of interesting because one of them holds 4 and the other one holds 16. So let's see, so that's 4, 5, so we need to make a few more. We're gonna have to experiment with the that little 4 stacker, because I've never actually used it. I've used a mod of it, but the mod gave you manual control of the 4 stack, and I'm not sure if Giants gives you manual control of the 4 stack. Plus, we should be able to test the capacity of this by going down this double raked windrow, which this should be the most straw you can get in one place, because it was 2 of the biggest combines cutting side by side with the biggest headers, taking in the most straw, and then we raked 2 of those windrows together. So this should be the most straw you can get in one area, unless you somehow raked 2 of these together by slowly pushing them closer together, which would take a long time. Anyway, let's see. So we haven't had any problems with it spilling out the sides. I know for a fact that if you go over something this big with the round baler, it won't pick it up. So let's see if the square baler will, because I as of yet have not taken it over something this big, because I haven't even bought one in my series yet, and it totally ate it like a champ. So that should be more than enough, but let's just drive down to the other end of the field real quick. As you can see, even though the header isn't actually that wide, its collision box for picking up stuff is quite wide. And I'm not sure if that's a glitch or if they just didn't model the pickup big enough. But either way, it does pick up stuff where the round baler would miss it, which is good, because especially if you're doing a lot of grass, raking a lot of grass into one windrow will make those huge piles, and you definitely need a good baler to do those. Though keep in mind, this is more for the grass and silage, but if you do want to do grass and silage, you'll need to download a mod to wrap the grass bales into silage if you square bale them. And one thing that this baler has that the other one doesn't is Y actually unloads the bales that it's already made, and that is so that you can lift up the gate and then it's ready for transport. Whereas Y on the other one is to empty the bales. Anyway, let's stop there, and we'll try. This is the Arcusin 4 stack, FOR, though it does hold FOUR bales, or 4. And it does not have auto alignment. That is something quite interesting, because the Arcusin auto stack definitely uses a lot of auto alignment. Like, so for instance, if we can get a bale in this, like this is actually harder than I thought to use. I believe it should have aligned itself. It really should have. I don't know. Those were going straight, and I thought I got them straight. Let's try this. Let's just see. Yeah, there's no other buttons to push. Let's try. It doesn't have like mouse controls, so what it should do is push it in. That is weird. What if we tried tapping it in with another bale? Okay, this is weird. I can't get this thing to work. Well, let's try this again. Okay. So we're looking at it from straight on, so it should be going in. Okay, so now it went in. Okay. Holy cow. Oh, and then what it does is it lifts up, and yeah, that's how it does. Okay, now they're going in, and I couldn't even get them to go in before. And then basically it just lifts them up like that. Let's see if we can get that one to go in. Holy cow, they're going in really easy now. I don't know if it's somehow direction specific or what, but sorry about the phone. But yeah, these things... Oh, do they only hold 3? Really, I thought they hold 4. But apparently they only hold 3. So, one cool thing is you can bring them into transport position to transport them somewhere else if you need to. Or you can just press Y at the side of the field and it'll let them go. And then, oh, you also have to press Y again, and then you just drive out. Then you press Y to shut that, and it's ready to go. I thought we were going to be using this in my series. I don't think we're going to, though, just because it doesn't have auto alignment, and auto alignment can be useful, so I'll show you what I mean by that. This is its big brother, basically, the Arcusin auto stack. I think it's by Arcusin, yeah. And basically this loads, where that loads 3, this loads 16 bales at once. So as far as bale capacity goes, you can't beat this with in-game machinery. This holds 16 of them, and it stacks them really, really high. So we'll just really quickly fill it up. I think that they increased the speed at which the table goes up and down, because I do remember it being slower in the past. One important thing to note, if you are looking at this just to see these, is that the pickups on the round baler, or on the round bale wagon and this Arcusin are improved, so now you can't go ramming through trees with the sidearm, because it actually will hit stuff. Before, it kind of had a glitch where it sometimes would hit stuff, sometimes wouldn't. And I don't know why. Oh, I'm paying workers because of the raking. I was like, why on earth am I paying workers? But yeah, now we have 12. Already you can see it holds a ton of bales compared to like that other one, because for instance, the round baler would have produced this many bales, except for they could roll down the field, and they aren't supported by, you know, this big stacker, because it's a square bale stacker. So now that is full, so we can put that into transport position. And then if we press Y, which is what we did with that one, it's going to slide up. And this one does take a tiny bit longer to unload because of the, let's see. Okay, it goes up fast. It's going down that it takes a little longer because of those bale spikes. These holders have to slide all the way up to the front, but it does go pretty fast, and once these get up to the front, it should pick up the collector. There we go, and now it's ready to go again. So yeah, definitely useful, holds a lot of bales. I love it. I've even found modded versions of it in the past that hold like twice as many bales. They're obviously not realistic, but they're pretty fun to look at. Anyway, guys, though, this is basically all you need to know about baling. I'll probably go stack these bales that we've baled over at the farm, so that when we get into animals like the cows and pigs, we'll have some straw for them, because they do require straw. So that is one usage of this. And one thing I should also mention is you can use loading wagons. The only reason I'm not showing them off right now is, well, one, because I forgot where on earth I put them on the map, because I kind of put all the vehicles in a general area, and then I'm just moving them around based on where I need them when. And I don't remember where on earth I put the stinking... Oh, you need to stop. You've just been sitting there running your engine. Okay, yeah, I don't remember where on earth I put them, but basically they do the same thing as a baler, except instead of when they get full, instead of putting out a bale, they just you just have to go empty them either at a sell point, on the ground, into the placeable shed, or I think you can even put them directly on the sell point. But yeah, I'll just really quickly show you those. They'll be being shown with the hay stuff, since I find them more useful for hay. As you can see, they do have huge capacities, but also keep in mind that unlike a baler, which can pump out endless bales, when those get full, you do have to take them somewhere to unload them, so they're not really the best for faraway fields. But anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed. This was all of the baling equipment for straw in Farming Simulator 2017. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.